In a move similar to the first game, Hiryu takes aim at a research facility in the Antarctic.
キャプテン研究所潜入。海側から断崖を越え研究施設に侵入。研究内容を破棄し施設を壊滅せしめよ。
I did a lot better in this stage than I did in stage 2. If you go over to the left of where Hiryu starts, on that iceberg you'll find a healing item which will also give you an extra bar of health. As you can see, we're in Antarctica. But there's a problem here. Hiryu isn't even bundled up properly for the South Pole. Are we just supposed to assume that futuristic ninjas have some sort of ability to be impervious to weather conditions, be it hot or cold? Yes, those are penguin soldiers that are being used as weapons of mass destruction. So you'd technically be right in calling this game a penguin murdering simulator, where you play as a futuristic ninja who can climb walls and murder penguins who are trying to take over the world. But don't worry, when you're the god of the new world, they're pretty much replaceable. You can just make more. So chew on that, PETA! The Olaf wall base is, as implied by the name or word wall, is pretty much a vertical climbing section. So as you're climbing, just leap off of the wall and slash any enemies that come your way. But when you get to the middle of it, you can either continue climbing up to get the healing item right here, or otherwise hitch a ride underneath the belly of the helicopter. Just don't get too close to the minigun attached to the helicopter. It'll take you to the top, but once you get to the top, it'll deploy a gigantic laser cannon, in addition to using its minigun and missiles it'll shoot at you. It'll also try to deploy an endless amount of soldiers inside of it, who will also carry hidden scoring items. Just keep using the Savage Slash on the tail of the helicopter, and you're pretty much guaranteed to take down the helicopter in no time at all. Soldiers will also charge in from the left and right side of the screen, so make sure you take them out as quickly as possible. And once you destroy the helicopter, it'll explode, and explosives will start going off, chasing Hiryu down the slope of the hill until he leaps over to the right. Very reminiscent of Strider Hiryu 1, right after you battle solo. And right here, you're right outside of the laboratory. Just take out all the enemies in the area, and then you'll get a mid-boss fight. You might be asking yourself, what could the Grandmaster possibly have out here for Hiryu to fight? I mean, nothing's in the South Pole except penguins, right? Wrong. He found a frozen woolly mammoth and brought it back to life with cybernetic enhancements. But seeing how he's an intergalactic godlike being, he looked into the past and probably took a page from Porky or Pokey from Mother 3. So yes, this is actually plagiarism, stealing an idea. But since I was on my last life, I decided, screw it, and just decided to use my boost, just for the heck of it. But pay attention to which part of the mammoth flashes, because right here you saw his head and his front legs flash. That means he's going to raise up on his back feet and try to stop you. And likewise, you just saw his back legs flash, which means he's going to try to kick you. And the soldiers you saw appear there are actually evil Canadian hockey players. So you would also be right in calling this a Canadian hockey player murder simulator. Now you're inside of the laboratory. At the left, you would have been able to slash the air and find a hidden scoring item. And here's the return of reverse gravity, your old friend from the first Strider Hiryu game. Just wouldn't be a Hiryu game without it. And this Antarctic guard is too weak to be considered a mini-boss. But I bet he probably has magnets in his gloves that let him climb on the ceiling. After you destroy him, proceed onward to the right. But if you keep going down, or should I say up, you'll be blocked by a ventilation fan, which will spin too fast and blow you away. So you have to come in this area with the researchers, who seemingly transform into mutated walruses, and roll around the room. The peach-looking one will bounce around the room, while the blue one will blaze around the room in an energy ball. But once you kill them, the ventilation fan will slow down, and you'll be able to destroy it. And the only security he has against the fan are just these two spinning wheels with spikes. Sadly, that just shows how much more retarded the Grandmaster is. You know, I wonder if he has any security around him. But here's the return of the gravity core, which will shoot plasma balls and shoot lasers against the walls. And yes, this room is an entire circle. So the controls can get very disorienting once you stand horizontally on the wall, because left and right respectively become up and down. And yes, you can run around it in a circle if you wish. So, after sneaking through a ventilation shaft, what boss could Hiryu face? A Kraken with bio-cybernetic enhancements. Pretty much goes to show you that Grandmaster Mayo, or just the Grandmaster, can pretty much create anything he wants. But for those not in the know, the Kraken is a legendary type of sea monster. Aside from shooting lasers from his head or his mouth, and the sides of his head, he'll also try to attack you with his claws, or tentacle claws. But once you take them out, they'll eventually regrow. So use the time you have in between the regrowth process to destroy the laser cannons on the side of the Kraken's head. Or your first priority should be to take out the claw tentacles of the Kraken. Then you can deal with the laser cannons. But if you get hit and lose your sword power-up, there's an extra one on the side of the right of the Kraken. I know I don't make this look easy, because trust me, I don't even speedrun this game. I just like playing it for fun. But it is a fun game, and I somewhat try to get better and better at it, even if it is my favorite PlayStation game. But this boss actually gets easier and easier with each laser cannon you destroy. It's mainly due to the fact that you have more room to work with when destroying the tentacles. And there you go, he's defeated. And since I died only once, I get a C, because you can see my life bonus is very small. And this time your cutscene comes straight from the conference meeting of world leaders.
どうした極点ラボが壊滅飛竜だと
私と同じストライダーズの生き残りです。
少し泳がせておいてもいいだろう。奴の背後関係が知りたい。いずれにせよあの方が戻られるまでのことだ。では次の議題。
As you can see, things are really heating up, especially since Hiryu is becoming more and more of a recognized threat. But stay tuned for Stage 4, when we take to the skies once again to fight the Flying Fortress Balrog. Trust me, you don't want to miss it.